If you've ever tried to film running while actually running, you know how chaotic and shaky it can get. In this video, we're gonna talk about how to film running while actually running. All right, it's a bright and early cold morning here on the track here in Boulder, Colorado. This is part of a how to film running masterclass. So I'm breaking down everything that I know about running. So feel free to check out some of the other videos. But first I wanna break down exactly what I'm using on my gimbal. Technically speaking, how to set it up, what balance tips I recommend, what lenses I use, what gimbal I actually have. So the links to all the gear that I use is in the description below. I also have a free gear guide if you wanna check that out as well. But this is a Gimbal-esque gimbal. I like it because it's small, but still has really powerful motors, which is huge for running. Running is a lot of up and down movements. There's a lot of motion that's happening. So having a gimbal that balances really well is really helpful. I often lean bigger is better when it comes to gimbals. Despite being a little bit cumbersome to run with, they do a better job. So if you're wanting better image quality, go for a bigger gimbal. If you want more portability, go for a smaller gimbal. I film a lot of trail running, so I chose the smaller gimbal. Something else that I think is important is when you're balancing your gimbal. I'm not gonna break down exactly how to balance each axis. There's a bunch of videos here on YouTube on how to do that. But to know that it's fully balanced, you should be able to move your camera and it should stay in that specific location. Once that is complete, then you can turn your gimbal on and you know that it's perfectly balanced, and that will minimize any shakes or any sort of unwanted movements. Something that's really helpful also when balancing a gimbal is picking either a wide lens or a light lens. The lighter the lens, your arms will thank you for sure. So I have a 35mm lens on here now, which isn't necessarily the widest, but it is the lightest lens that I have. The last thing I want to chat about before we get out there and film is about autofocus versus manual focus. 99% of the time I am sticking on autofocus. It's really helpful now with the camera technology that exists today. So stick it on autofocus, you'll be good to go. I use zone autofocus if that's helpful, but as long as my subject is within my certain zone, 99% of the time, the Sony autofocus is gonna nail it. So stick it on autofocus, let's go film. Okay, so there are a few scenarios which a gimbal is really good, and I'm gonna walk through them now. The first one is a side tracking shot. It's a shot where you and your subject are in the same line and you're moving together. So for this, Mal, our runner here, is gonna be running and I'm gonna be running the same speed right alongside her from the side, from the profile. So Mal, whenever you're ready, let's go for it. So here I'm really just trying to keep my legs stable, my arms stable, trying to match the speed with Mal the best I can. Woo! Keep her in that zone autofocus. The next best use case is being in front of your runner and running with them. This is really great for still showing that movement, but also being able to see their expression. Something that I would encourage you not to do is run backwards like this. You won't be able to run really fast. So instead of running backwards, I actually keep my gimbal here. I'll turn my body and I'll run this way with my gimbal facing backwards. That will allow you to get a little bit more speed so you can follow your runner a little better. I'll set the pace. You just try to stay like the similar distance to me. Okay, and action. We're gonna go around this bend because I think these trees will look pretty. So now that you saw a little bit of the best use cases, I want to actually break down how to run and how to walk with the gimbal. Of course, the classic saying, you have to walk before you run. So in order to walk with the gimbal and just get steady movements out of the gimbal in general, it's a great place to start before you start actually running. In order to walk with the gimbal and keep things smooth, just think, I need to keep this camera as stable as possible. Even just thinking that, I think does a big job in like helping you keep the camera steady. Maybe it's a mental thing translating into your physical body, but always start with that. This camera needs to be steady and your body can kind of lock in from there. So keep a tight grip on your gimbal. When possible, 2 hands is great. As you saw in the past, running with one allows me to pump if I need to move a little faster, but for walking, I'd recommend 2 hands on the gimbal. I take my elbows and I lock my elbows in. That will allow me to get an extra point of contact on my body to stay stable. From there, I kind of crouch a little bit to kind of use a little bit more suspension in my body to limit this up and down. I can kind of keep my body stable this way. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk on my heels to toes, and it's gonna look a little silly, but I'm gonna walk like this to try to keep the camera as stable as possible. This allows the camera to not go up and down, which is a big mistake I see a lot of beginners make, is when they walk with the gimbal, they'll do a lot of this. So keeping that heel toe kind of ninja walk allows you to keep the camera as steady as possible. This is great for slower movements, but of course, we're out here to film running. Running is not a slow movement. So this is how you film running on a gimbal. Oh, hey, quick thing. I write a free newsletter about outdoor storytelling, creative clarity, and building memorable content I think you'll enjoy. If you want to keep learning how to make work that's thoughtful, profitable, and creative, it's linked in the description below. All right, back to the video. So running with the gimbal is a lot like walking with the gimbal. You're trying to keep that steady mindset. Instead of the heel to toe walk, you can't move very quickly that way. So try to open up a little bit, let yourself run. But as you can see, when you start to run, your gimbal starts to go up and down. So something I really try to do is lock in over here. And as I'm running, just keeping that steady mindset. My gimbal needs to stay steady. My gimbal needs to stay steady. Kind of be looking at the camera periodically to check whether or not you're doing a good job, making sure your framing's staying correct. There's a lot to keep in mind. And that's my biggest tip, is just practice. There's no secret sauce to filming with the gimbal while you're running, other than all the tools that I've laid out before. It's really important to just practice, practice, practice. Get on a wide angle lens, have in-body stabilization on. If you have stabilization on in your lens, that's also great. Really just get out here and practice running, practice getting your fitness up to speed, practice getting in front of an athlete with the gimbal. Over time, you'll feel more and more confident to go out and tackle these bigger filming objectives. But in order to smooth out any mistakes that you might make, I would recommend obviously being aware of where you're running. If you're running on a technical trail, getting a really smooth tracking shot for 3 to 5 minutes isn't really a reality. So shooting in 3 to 10 second bursts. Slow-mo will also help smooth out any little micro jitters, but shooting in short segments will allow you to really focus hard, get a really good shot for the time that you need, and then move on to the next moment. And of course, gimbal is great, but this isn't just about running with the gimbal. This video is also about talking about when to use it, right? So there are some scenarios where using a gimbal is maybe not the best thing. I will say, a lot of times I am choosing to use a gimbal on a smooth track like this for short segments on a trail. But if you're on a long run with an athlete on a technical mountain trail, that might not be the best environment. Long distance runs, obviously these things are added weight. So if you're running 10 miles, 15 miles, whatever long distance is to you, it may be difficult to carry a gimbal with you. If you are wanting shots that feel a little bit more authentic and raw, that is a great time to put down the gimbal. Gimbals are an amazing tool for getting steady, smooth shots, but steady, smooth shots aren't always the best shots for your project. Sometimes a little bit more gritty, a little bit more shaky is actually gonna suit your project way more than a nice, smooth, stable shot. It's really nice to get these shots, but prioritizing the emotion that is in front of your camera. Running is partially about motion, but I think it's also hugely about emotion. And matching your camera movement with the emotion that is in front of your lens is a huge, important step to take. So we're gonna put down the gimbal and we're gonna walk through when to use handheld and how to use handheld footage in your running projects. In order to switch from gimbal mode to handheld mode, because I do a lot of stuff really quick in fast-paced environments where we don't have the luxury of taking bunches of time to set up, my difference between being on a gimbal and being off the gimbal is literally taking it off the gimbal and then I put my shotgun mic on. A lot of the times I'm doing sound design after the fact when I'm on a gimbal, adding in sounds of feet. So sound quality in the moment isn't the most important when I'm on the gimbal, but when I'm going handheld, this is my perfect setup. I don't love having a bunch of monitors and things on my camera, just keeping it light. In order to film handheld for running, of course this lifestyle stuff is always really good. So getting shots of people's warm-ups, getting detail shots, wide shots, tight shots, medium shots, anything to portray the lifestyle of what this runner is going through is going to be really, really helpful. When it comes to filming handheld, I think movement is always nice, but just be careful you're not overdoing it. If you're going in with a bunch of really shaky footage like this, it's not gonna look as professional. So trying to keep, again, elbows tucked in, maybe slight movements here and there to show some movement, but you're not always like rocking the boat. Sometimes it's easy to get in the head of like, I'm a camera operator, I need to do interesting things behind the camera. But what makes the best running films and the best running content is what happens in front of your camera. So trying to capture that in the best way possible is gonna be the key to success when filming handheld. When you're filming just with this, it's really important that you're trying to match the mood of whatever is going on. So if your runner is running really fast, maybe being really stable and just matching their movements or letting them go through the frame, which we'll show now. Can we just have you just run right here? So this is just a static shot. Mal runs through the frame, good to go. Very easy, quick shot to get. Another shot, Mal, of you like the same movement, and I'm just gonna kind of pan with you. This can also be done on a tripod, but I think it's easy to do handheld as well. Yep, go for it. elbows locked in, panning, keeping the same speed. These are all shots that you can get on your next running project, but be creative. Try to find like what works for you. We're gonna do one final shot, which is a little bit more active. Of course, running is a very motion heavy sport. Just trying to move slow here, trying to not add any shakes. She gets to her mark. I'm moving as best I can, trying to get as much action and movement without causing a bunch of unnecessary shakes and jitters. So that's an example of just like something you can do and try out. When it comes to filming handheld, there's no necessarily right or wrong way to do it. There's tons of different looks that you can get just by a small little camera, small little microphone, and some creativity. To conclude, most of my shoots use both. I'm not always on the gimbal and I'm not always handheld. I think being able to balance these two tools to be creative, to get out there, film, capture a sport that we love, and do it in a way that feels authentic and creative for you, just try things out. If you love stable shots, I encourage you to practice on a track before taking it to the trail. Really stable footing here, really controlled environment, which is really nice. When it comes to filming handheld, get creative, try to find new shots, go from wide angle shots to medium shots to tight shots. That will all help you in your editing process. And feel free to stick around because in this How to Film Running Masterclass, I'm breaking down so many more things about how to film running. So subscribe, stick around, more good stuff to come, and get out there and practice. I love you, I'm proud of you for trying something new. I'll see you in the next video. Oh hey, don't forget to sign up for that newsletter too. Bye.